Hi, this is Takeshi Akatsu. I'm Japanese patent attorney. I'm sending this video from Tokyo, Japan. So today I would like to talk about a topic which is not happy news, but I should talk about it, which is the fee increases of the Japan Patent Office. The Japanese IP laws have amendments which will be effective on this coming April 1st, 2022. And actually there are several changes, not one, but several changes. But one of these changes is the fee increases of the Japan Patent Office, registration fee and annuity fees. So I thought this may directly impact your global IP budget control if it includes Japan. So I'd like to focus on that topic today. So now you see this is the contents of this talk video. First, I'd like to share the information on how to calculate these fees. I think many of you may know, but let's review that, and then I'd like to talk about so which of the current fee system and the new system will be applied in function of when you do exactly do which payment. And so let's talk about the patents first. So I think you're seeing the table here. So the left-hand side is the current fee system from to the end of March, and the right-hand side is the new fee system, which will start in this from April. And so as you can see, for the patent registration fee, has two portions in the equation. The first portion is a fixed portion, and the second portion is in proportional to the number of claims. So on the top row, you see year 1 to year 3. This is a registration fee. The fixed portion has been 2,100 Japanese yen, and after April 1st, this will be increased to 4,300 Japanese yen. So it's more than double. And if you look at the proportional portion, this will be increased from 200 Japanese yen to 300 Japanese yen, which is which is exactly a 50% increase. And and if you look at the older years, for year 4, year 6, year 7 to year 9, year 10 to year 5, the fixed portion increases by almost to 4,000 yen to 5,000 Japanese yen. So how much that is exactly? So let's look at the next table. The next table, here you see two examples. The first example has 15 claims on the left-hand side, and on your left-hand side, that's the case for 30 claims. Each patent's costs, so the change is not so big per patent, but if you multiply by the number of your patents, then it will not be, cannot be ignored. Let's look at those things. Young patents will see higher increase rate. But if you look at year 1 to year 3, the increase rate is almost 73% for 15 claims and 64% for 30 claims. And now the older it gets, the smaller the rate is. But the old patents are from the basis expensive. Anyway, it's a huge cost increase. So please check your patents, patent rights, the registered granted patents, and if some of your patents fall into this time period in terms of the patent fee, annuity fees, you want to pay before April 1st. We'll look at the timing later. Now, next, let's look at the trademark. So, trademark, the trademark fees, the registration fee after the decision to grant, that's called the registration fee at the top of in the top row. And on the third row, you see renewal fee. That's for you can extend by 10 years, 10 years by 10 years. That's called the renewal fee. And then, so renewal fees are all, these are all trademark fees are set to be proportional to the number of classes. So the registration fee on the top row increases from 2,000 to 28,000 yen to 28,200 yen Japanese yen to 32,900 Japanese yen. So that corresponds to 4,700 Japanese yen per class. If you look at the renewal fee, that increases from 38,800 Japanese yen to 43,600 Japanese yen, which is the increase of 4,800 Japanese yen per class. Let's look at the installment fees. Installment fees are the fees you pay when you split the one period of 10 years into sub periods of 5 years, each 5 years. So you pay 5 years and 5 years. And it's called so there's a first period of 5 years and second period of 5 years. Each set is said to be, of course, slightly higher than you pay the entire 10 years at a time. But of course, and the increase rate doesn't seem to be very high, but you can pay twice. So the total will be a little bit more expensive. Well, and the defensive mark, and we will not go into this detail today, but if you have some of those, these fees will increase in a similar manner. Let's look at the actual numbers with concrete examples. Now, I'm showing you here two cases. On the left-hand side, you see a case with five classes, and on your right-hand side, you see an example of 10 classes. So the 10 class, so it's simply proportional to the number of classes. So a 10 class case example is double of the case of the 5 classes. That's clear. And the fees will increase about from 70% for the registration fee and the renewal fee by 12%. If you go by installment by installment, maybe 5 years by 5 years, then the increase rate will be just 1%, but it will not change the payment of the 2 installment fees. This will exceed, of course, this will be more expensive than if you pay 10 years. 10 years. Well, for each case, it's not an increase which you cannot and should not ignore. Now you understood how these fees are calculated and how these fees will be increased from April 1st. So now let's look at the timing. You can ask your local counsel, but let's review the calculation. So now, if you're in March, now before March 2nd, and if you're, for example, in this case, so this is the registration fee after the decision to grant, whether that is a patent or a trademark. And if you receive a patent decision of grant from your local counsel in Japan, then if it's before March 2nd, 2022, no worry. You're just gonna pay accordingly within 30 days from the decision of grant. And within this period, the current fee system before increase of the fees will be applied. So this is not this won't change your situation. This is not an increase of cost. And next slide. So if you can extend this payment period by paying extra money, then you can extend this money. Like for example, if you like to have some time before in order to file a division application. Some applicants need some time, and depending upon the business status or decision status, and you want to extend this period, you can do that. And then if you extend this, and if this extension period goes over April 1st, then if you want to pay that registration fee after April 1st, then that payment should be calculated in accordance with the new fee calculation system. So you can extend, but if you can't pay before April 1st, it's more favorable. It's less expensive if you go over. If you want to pay this after April 1st, please be sure that please be aware that you're going to pay according to the new system, which is more expensive. Now, if you receive the decision of grant on or after March 3rd, what's going to happen? So in this case, the registration fee payment period of 30 days go over April 1st. So in this case, what happens? If you pay before April 1st, which means by the end of March 31st, 2022, then the current fee system will be applied. But if you pay on or after April 1st, 2022, including April 1st, the new expensive payment system calculation will be applied. So please control. If you know that some of the pending patents or trademarks, then you want to be careful, and you want to be contacting your local counsel in Japan, and let your local counsel in Japan beforehand first, and about your intention. You want to pay for it, you want to make quicker, you want to pay the registration fee quickly, or you want to pay it, you can pay it after April 1st, depending upon your budget or depending upon your strategy. And let's talk about the annuity fee. So if you have patents already paid in, if you already have patent rights, and the annuity fees from 4 years or later, old patents, then there's a payment period set, and this is only for the patent. And let's talk about the annuity fees for the patent trademark later. So this is just for the patent. And if you also, in this case, you can also extend this period. Well, the current fee payment period was before April 1st, no problem. You pay your patent fees according to the current payment system. But if you can extend by paying twice the annuity fee, so you can extend. Sometimes you want to, budgeting timing doesn't fall before April 1st, and you want to think about it. So in this case, you can extend it. So anyway, in this case, if the experiment period goes over April 1st, you don't have to worry about it. You can pay the annuity fee in accordance with the current fee system. So you don't have to worry that much. But you don't have to know this, but only the JP local counsel must know it. And then next case, a little bit complicated. If this payment period goes over April 1st, like we saw for the registration fee, if you pay before March 31st, 2022, the current fee system will be applied. If you pay after April 1st, on or after April 1st, 2022, including the extension period, the new fee system will be applied. So in this case, you want to be a little bit careful, and talk about it with. So with the patent annuity fees, you know when it comes beforehand in your docketing system, so you should know, or at least you can contact your local counsel and check the timing, please. Now let's check the trademark renewal fees. Okay, if you do the renewal 10 years by 10 years, then the payment period comes at the end of this 10 years, and you have a period of six months. So if that payment period or precedent period ends before April 1st, no problem. You can pay the renewal fee in accordance with the current fee system, and you can extend it by 6 months by paying twice the annuity fee. We talked about it. We talked about a similar case beforehand, but it's a similar thing. The current fee system will be applied, so no worry. Now you can tell what I'm going to talk about. So if this original payment period, or if this preceding period goes over April 1st, 2022, then you might want to pay this renewal fee before or on or before March 31st. And if you pay this annuity fee on or after April 1st, even if you extend it, the new fee calculation system will be applied. Similarly, you want to check the timing of the trademark renewal deadline. Then what happens if you want to pay 5 years by 5 years? So let's look at this that kind of case. Similarly, if you in this case, preceding 10 years period ends before April 1st. Then if you pay, the first half 5 years, and then the first 5 years of the next 10-year period, then the payment for the second half of each period is 10 years, and you can split it into sub periods. And then what I'm talking about here is the payment of the second half of the next 10-year period. That can be paid at any time during the first 5 years. And in this case, the current fee, an installment fee for the second half of the next period, because it will be calculated in accordance with the current fee system. Because because it starts before April 1st, that period. So you don't need to rush in this case. You have enough time. You have enough time. You have like 5 years. 5 years. And what if so if this original preceding period goes over April 1st, next slide, then the situation won't change. You don't have to worry about it there anytime. For the payment of the second half of the next 10-year period, where that payment will be calculated in accordance with the current fee system for about 5 years or so, less than 5 years though. So don't worry about it. And the problem is, as you can tell, the next slide, if this current period goes over April 1st, then you pay the first half, of course, and you have paid the first half of 5 years then. So the second half of 5 years must be paid during this first 5 years. This period is, of course, after April 1st, right? So not only will the new fee be applied to the first half payment if you pay after April 1st, but also the second half payment, the payment of the second half of the next 10 years must be paid in accordance with the new fee calculation. So please be careful. If you pay the in the last slide, you paid the next first half period before April 1st, then the current fee system will be applied. If you pay now your first half period of next 5 years after April 1st, then the second half payment of the next 10-year period should be paid in accordance with the new calculation system. So what does that mean? You want to check your trademark renewal fee timing, and if possible, you want to pay the payment before April 1st, by the end of March 31st. So please check your deadlines, and you might want to talk to your Japanese local counsel if you haven't yet. That's what I can recommend that you do. And so we have gone through the patents and trademarks, and you might have questions on design patents and utility models. And actually, you don't have to worry about those things. Design patents, utility models have no fee increases at this time. So this is a summary. It's a long and a little bit complicated talk and video, but for patents and trademarks, please pay necessary registration annuity fees before, or plan to do so before April 1st, 2022. This is not April Fool joke. You want to contact your local counsel beforehand, and you check your docketing system to check the payment period and annuity fee periods, which may fall into this time period. And if you haven't, please do so. And also we can if you can contact us also at Open Frontier IP. So thanks for watching, and hope you can control the IP budget in a better way. Bye, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.